All right, everyone, let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin. Let's talk a little bit about what just happened. And yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and start with my normal disclaimers. This isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I won't tell you where to enter and exit your trades. I'm going to give my opinion on the market. And what you do is up to you. So you should be comfortable in your trades and not listen to me blindly. Maybe, I've got a decent track record, but nonetheless, you should be doing your own research and, being responsible for your own money and practicing proper risk management. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this move. Um, so basically, what I'm seeing here is, you know, a potential bottom. So, we were talking quite a bit about this. This was a while back, right? We were talking about this move here, 1, 2, and then coming down here for the 3, and then the 4. Thought that it happened a little too soon, so I was really hesitant to call this a bottom, even though it was a little bit of a lower low. But what I'm now considering here, and I think this has some merit. That this is really the 3, and then we had an A, B, C correction for this 4, and now we're creating 5 waves down. Okay, so we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to come down here. Let me go ahead and mark this out from up here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I'm going to put this on a smaller degree, of course. We're going to do, micro. That looks decent for the subdivision down here. Okay, so this would be like a 1, and then we have, it's pretty clear we have an ABC here. All right, so we have what looks to be like an A, B, C. Okay, and then on our way down, we have, we've got a 1, 2, and then we've got this. It's hard to tell. I'd have to go to a lower time frame, but maybe a 3, 4, 5. Or what more than likely could be occurring here is this is going to be the 4 right here, and then we're going to go down for the 5 down here. And again, same thing I've been talking about for a long time. 72 to 7,500, 72 to 7,500. Bring ourselves down here to this level. Let's just measure it real quick and see if technically it makes sense. From this 2 down here to this 3, we get us down here to about 7,066. So maybe we go down and we tap 7,000, right? That would be a good place to trap longs, right? Or really to trap shorts. People that are shorting the bottom, but nonetheless, people are trying to catch here 72 to 7,500 on leverage positions, which again I've been talking about for a while. Be very careful doing any leverage positions, trying to catch falling knives, right? You want to see a consolidation, then you want to see a break up, right? So I was seeing a lot of memes on Twitter yesterday talking a lot about this formation that we were in right here. They were doing a little bit, something a little bit like this. We had this level here, and then we had this right here, and people were basically saying like, all right, it's going to be any time now. We're going to break down. We're going to break down anytime, anytime. And too many people were saying that, and we were going to move back up. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I was like, yeah, you need to buy down here. But what I will say is I have been saying for a long time, 72 to 7,500. I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over. I'm going to sound like a broken record. That trade setup, 72 to 7,500, and you set your stop loss, because I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And that's part of trading, Trading is a, legalized version of gambling, for lack of a better term. But where we topped out right here, we topped out at 76.93. Now, what's very interesting about that is this candle right here. That candle was at 76.88. So let's just wick it off and see where this lands. Very interesting. When we talk a lot about support and resistance lines, let's go to a 12-hour time frame and let's just zoom in on this, because it's perfect Perfect. Support, resistance, right? So we had that as support, and now we're touching it as resistance. More than likely we're going to roll over. In my opinion, this is a decent place where you could set up a short trade. Okay, and we're still up here 76.65. So this is a good place. I'm going to go ahead and put the short here, and I'm going to say your stop loss is going to be, slightly beyond, right? Set yourself a 1.21% loss. And again, this is for a scalp, right? You're going to want to scalp this down to our target, and you could target 7,200, right? I wouldn't go so far as to target anything more than that, but what you could do is you could wait for it to come down here, and instead of closing the short, open up a not a leveraged, a hedged long position down here at 7,200. Set up that major trade at 7,200, but keep the short open just in case. Just in case. Hedge your position. Maybe you want to hedge on Ethereum, maybe you want to hedge on Bitcoin, maybe you want to hedge on something else. Whatever that may be, that's what I'm looking at. Basically, this move up that we just had here, not that it was totally expected. And again, if we take a look at some of the Stokes that we have here, we're keeping an eye on, our 12-hour is still looking down. The 3-hour, which actually the 3-hour did a pretty decent job about telling you to buy in this area, and now we're moving up. We're up to the median, so I'd be very careful opening up any long positions up here. The hourly is way overbought, so I would expect this to move down. Don't see any divergence here, but I do think that we do move down. I do think we move down, probably again down here, 7,200 to 7,300 or so. If we are able to keep support here at this equilibrium at about 7,450, I think that's probably pretty good for us. But nonetheless, this is what it's looking like. It looks like we basically had a little bit of a trap there. Then we're gonna move down. But in the long run, I really think that these are good positions to have open. But again, I do think that we are going to take some time. We're going to take some time moving down. It's not going to happen real fast, I don't think. We're going to probably move down here, and then we're going to touch this area, 7,400. More than likely, still looking here at the 7,200 level for us to get that move up. But again, I talked about this a while back. Let's go ahead, and I think I had it on the Coinbase chart. So let's just take a look at Coinbase going back to a daily time frame. It doesn't look like I have it on this, but I can draw it really quick for you. Starting down here at the very bottom, working our way all the way up here to the top. One could say that we're having a front run of the 618. I would say we need to reclaim this level here, which is important, right? So that's at 77.30. We have support, front run, breakthrough. We have this as resistance. Be very careful buying here. Down here is the place to buy. Again, 7,200 or so. In this cluster, this is the place where you should be looking to buy. And again, I put this trade setup in another one of my videos quite a while back. So this is still the area that I'd be looking for. Stop loss, probably the bottom of this wick right here. So at about 66.29. If we break through this, I would almost guarantee we're going to come down to 5,400 to 5,500. So that's why you take the stop here, take the stop at 66.29, wait for the next level to come into play. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Let me just move this up here just to kind of take a real quick look at this. If we take a look at this pull, we hit the 618 perfectly, but I would still say that 65 is possible here at 7,000. Just lots of confluence. Whether you pull it from here or you pull it from here, a lot of people are saying this is a 1, take a long time for the 2, take a long time for the 3, now we're moving down for the 4. But I am suspect that what we had was this 1, 2, and then we have this 3, and then 4, and then we moved up here for the 5. And now we're correcting, so this would be ABC, but what this can do, this can come down to the 786. So if it comes down to the 786, then that's the next area that you'd be looking to buy for sure. But especially, on these spot positions, stop loss here at about 6,600, 6,650 or so, and then pull on that new position there at 5,500. You will have lost USD, sure. But you would have preserved your capital and you would have gained your Bitcoin holding at that point. And whether you do it on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, whatever that may be, That's completely up to you. Before I end the video, we know we're 10 minutes in. I do want to take a look at Litecoin versus the dollar real quick. Again, this is also something a lot of people have been talking about, so I just kind of want to put things into perspective. We have this trend line which we have to break through in order to be bullish, right? So be very careful with that. And then we also, again, we have this trend line which we are also contending against as well. So this level right here. We have plenty of touches here for this to be valid. And even if you ignore this touch right here and we come down to this one, so we go over here to this level, we're pulling ourselves down. What we need to do, right, and again, when you're talking about wedges, you count these with like an A, B, C, D, E. So we have basically A, B, C, D, E down here. And E does tend to extend beyond. And then we're basically looking to push through here. Hasn't happened yet. Everybody's super bullish on Litecoin. Me as well. I told the people on the Discord they should be buying down here below $50, right? So, I'm not gonna say anything else about that. I said to buy down here. It was either yesterday or the day before when we were down here sub $50. What I want to see is I want to see a move up. Sorry about that. All right, so I want to see a move up, down, test that, and then find our launch, right? So if we just completed a complex corrective pattern down here, and again, the other thing that I will pay attention to, and I think it's important for everybody to pay attention to, is the fact that we went from here all the way up here to the top. I'm going to fix this. I need to fix this. The levels don't match very well. All right, I need to get this all the way to the top up here. So we moved all the way up here. And I'm pulling this up so that we can compare this against Bitcoin because it's important. We went all the way down to the 786. And I was just talking about the 786 on Bitcoin at 5,500, right? So we're having our support here at the 618. We had the move up, or we are having the move up rather. It hasn't played through yet. But again, if we break through that, that's why you set the buy at the 786. But to put the buy at the 786 and then take that play, right? So you can take the play at the 786. If you want to be safer, wait for a break of this trend line. Don't have hope that we are going to break the trend line. Wait for it to actually break. Go up, get the retest, and then launch from there. If this is a 1-2, okay, if that is a 1-2, and again, this is also something else I talked about on the Discord. Starting here at the bottom, working our way to the top, coming down here to the bottom of this wick. If that is a 1-2, we're looking at $250 for a target. If this is nothing more than a correction, if this is basically an ABC, if this is, an impulse down, which it doesn't look like it is, but if it is, we're still looking at $123 or $171 or even $200. I would totally expect $200 to be a good psychological level to not hold. So if you're going to take that trade, take a lot of profit at 200 bucks. Because if we go up here to 250, we're still going to come back down to sub 200, okay? If this is a 1-2 and then we completed the 3, the 4 is going to come probably back down to 175 to 180, and then you're going to take that launch back up here to, potentially $300, maybe 320, something like that. I'm not going to hypothesize on where that's going to go, but it is very possible that if it's bullish, it's going to go back up to 350 to basically do some very similar things that Bitcoin did. Bitcoin had a really great recovery. Everybody's talking about Litecoin having a great recovery. Litecoin, in terms of percentage from the bottom, did much better than Bitcoin. But Litecoin, in terms of retracement compared to Bitcoin, didn't do as well. We know that Bitcoin went 61.8% from the top. And if we take a look at Litecoin versus Bitcoin from the top, it's not as impressive. All the way up here to the top, all the way down here to the bottom, it didn't even hit the 382. Did not even hit the 382. It had a pretty atrocious year last year compared to Bitcoin, where Bitcoin was bouncing at 6,000 over and over and over. Litecoin was just, had a couple bounces, but then bled and bled and bled, right? So it didn't have the same sort of dump that Bitcoin did, right? Litecoin just bled throughout the year. right? So it didn't even hit 382. So that's why I'm thinking, up here at the 618, $240 to $250, that's the golden zone. That's where Bitcoin landed, right? So very possible for it to go up there. But nonetheless, I'd be looking at this 50%, which again is right here at $200. Lots of confluence at $200, lots of confluence at 240, but I expect that 200 to be psychological resistance where I would expect us to fall. So I guess that's what I've got. Sorry, I went on a little tangent on Litecoin for a moment, but I felt it was important to talk it through. So, all right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and call it. And if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Otherwise, I'll talk to you all in the Discord. If you don't have an invite, put a comment on there, and I'll put an invite code out there for you. I've got a couple comments that I need to respond to. So have a good one, and I will catch you all later.